All right, it is just after 8 a.m. on Wednesday, January 24th, 2024. And this is a meeting for the La Cuesta Ranch Trail Run, which is happening in San Luis Obispo this weekend, Saturday, January 27th. Now, let me start by saying that all three events, all three will be starting at 8 a.m. And I know that that's you may have seen somewhere else that the 50K was starting at a different time. It's starting at 8 a.m. So all three events will be starting at 8 a.m. on Saturday, January 27th, coming up. My name is Luis Escobar, and I am organizing the event. Myself and Michelle Evans, my wife Beverly, and a whole group of volunteers are the ones sort of behind all of this. At the moment, we have a 50K race that's going to start at 8 a.m. and there are 44 people registered in the 50K. We have a 25K, and there's 91 people registered in the 25K, and then a 10K, and there's 87 people registered in the 10K. Registration is open until 12 midnight tonight. So registration will close actually, that's wrong. Registration will close tomorrow night at midnight. So on the 25th, Thursday, registration will close. So there's still time for people to register. If you know people that want to come that are not registered and they miss the online registration, we will be happy to register them at the event, race day registration. Okay. So I went over the idea that it's all happening this Saturday, January 27th, all three events, 10K, 50K, 25K, all happening at 8 a.m. Everyone's going to start together. I can say this, we used the staggered starts the last couple of years. That was a COVID thing when we were not supposed to have large groups all starting at one time. That's why we got into this rhythm of staggered starts at La Cuesta, but that's over. So we're all going to start at 8 a.m. If you're in the 50K, there are two cutoffs. The first cutoff is 1 p.m. So if you're in the 50K, you're going to start at 8 a.m., but you need to start lap 2 prior to 1 o'clock. All right. So it's 2 25K loops, and you need to complete the first one prior to 1 p.m. If you finish after 1 p.m., you're going to be disqualified, did not finish. We can't allow you to start another lap after 1 p.m. This has to do with my agreement with the ranch, and we want to be out of there by dark at a reasonable time. And so that's why we have this 1 p.m. cutoff. And even though we adjusted the time, we adjusted the cutoff as well. So there should be no problems. We haven't had anybody struggling to make that cutoff. What is that, 5 hours to cover 25K? It's reasonable. 5 p.m. is the final cutoff for all distances. So we need everybody off of the course, heading home at 5 p.m. All right. If you go to allwedoisrun.com, you can open the runner guide that's there. Most of the information that I'm sharing with you now is there written, and you can review that. There are clickable links to get to directions and to view the course map. It's all there. Also, what's there is a waiver, and this is very important. This has to do with our insurance. Every single person that comes onto the property needs to bring with them a waiver, a release of liability waiver. This is non-negotiable. Everybody, runners, spectators, your family, whoever's there, needs to come with a waiver in hand. The waiver is at allwedoisrun.com. Go there now, click it, download it, print it, read it, sign it, bring it. Everything's happening at the La Cuesta Ranch, 2400 Loomis Street in San Luis Obispo. There's a map on the runner's guide that will take you right to the front gate. So La Cuesta Ranch is a working cattle ranch. There's cows there. There's all the things that go with cows are there, but it's also a wedding venue. So the place where we're going to be staging the race is at a barn. It's a wedding barn, event barn. So this place is set up for large groups of people. There's no problems. This is our 8th year there. So there's plenty of parking. All of that is just fine. My agreement with the ranch is that we pay them to use the ranch, and we pay them in part by the money that you bring. And so we ask everybody to bring $10 cash. And when you arrive at the ranch, you're going to get to a gate, and there's going to be a person there waiting for you. And that person is going to expect that you hand them $10 cash. And this, again, this helps us pay for the ranch. Some people asked if they can just be dropped off and walk in. Yes, that's fine. It would be super cool if you would pay the $10, even if you're on foot, but it's not totally required. Jason has his hand up. Jason, what's up?
Just curious, if we're camping the night before and paying $20 for that, do we need to pay another $10 for that day, or does that cover that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about camping. Camping is available. It's totally car camping, right? This is not a campground. It's not a public park, nothing like that. It's a ranch. And there's a large dirt parking lot right above the barn, and that's where we camp. So bring your camper, you can bring a tent, sleep in your car, however you want to do it, but there's no amenities. There's no hookups, there's no running water, none of that stuff. There's going to be a couple portable toilets out there, and that's it.
Yeah, it's so cool you could camp.
So if you want to camp, in the runner guide, there should be a link there to talk with my wife, Beverly, or you can email me and we'll make it happen. You can pay $20 and arrive Friday. Or even if you're not signed up to camp, you can arrive Friday at noon and then just pay Beverly when you see her at runner check-in. Pretty much on the honor system for that. I would encourage all of you to camp. It's very nice. It's fun. Everybody hang out together. And then this is jumping ahead on my schedule here, but Friday night at 6 p.m., Adam Lopez is going to be there, and he's going to be performing. Adam Lopez is a singer-songwriter, professional musician from Nashville, Tennessee. He just happens to be on the Central Coast for a bit, and he's a friend, and he is willing to come and play in the barn. And this is an opportunity to see a real Nashville studio musician. This guy's recorded with a lot of famous artists. You have heard his guitar, you just don't know it. And anyway, he's going to do a show for us, and there's no additional cost for you. And
there's a concert the night.
6 o'clock in the barn. I'm going to mute Paige. 6 o'clock in the barn at La Cuesta. So if you camp, you're right there. So just come sleep in your truck or whatever, and then come down to the barn, and Adam will be there. All right, we're paying him, but you know, musicians, they always want more money. So if you have you're excited and you want to give him a tip, I'm sure he would appreciate that.
Anyways, just want to make sure I don't think you answered my question fully, but so the $20 to camp would cover the $10 fee otherwise?
Yes,
okay,
sir.
Great. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions about anything that I've said so far? The date, the time, the cutoffs, the camping?
Sorry for all the questions, but one more. Is it, if I get slow a day early, is there any way to camp a day prior, or is that
no
out?
No. Okay. So again, my agreement with them is camping will start at noon on Friday. Now we will be there if you show up early, Jason. Friday at 8 o'clock, we're meeting at the main gate, a group of us, and we're going to mark the course. So if you do happen to be in San Obispo early, come out and help us. Come out and help. You can hike around and see the route, but you can't spend the night there. Let me tell you this. If you want to camp in a campground, about less than 10 miles away is El Chorro Regional Park. It's on Highway 1. And you can camp there, and they have hookups, the whole thing. El Chorro Regional Park. If you want to just hobo camp, you can go to the top of the Cuesta Grade. So TV Tower Road, go up to the top of the Cuesta Grade, and on West Cuesta Road, there's BLM property, and there are several camp spots. It's completely unorganized and dispersed and, no control. You just go up there and find a spot, and it's reasonably safe. And it's a beautiful place to camp, and it's right above the ranch. So if I was going to this thing and I didn't have a place to stay and I had a van or something, that's where I would go. TV Tower Road for Thursday night. Any other questions?
Hey, Lois,
Yeah.
if somebody's just coming to music Friday night, do they need a waiver?
Everybody that comes needs a waiver, so bring a waiver with you.
Okay.
And you can turn it into Beverly. She'll be there. And you don't need to pay. You could just come and park and see the show and then take off. That's a good question. I hadn't thought that one out completely. This is our first time doing this Friday night activity there. Okay. We talked about the date, the time, the location. 2400 Loomis Street, San Luis Obispo. Again, in the runner guide, there's a clickable link. Google Map, take you right to it. $10 per car, not per person, that comes onto the ranch. Print the waiver, bring it with you. Don't show up without a waiver, please. It's not too late to volunteer. If your friends or family want to volunteer, we can do that. Again, on the runner guide, you can find Michelle Evans. Click on her link there, and you can email her directly, and we can get you your family, whomever, on the course. And then we offer discounts for future events. You guys want to come to the Born to Run event, you want to save about 50%, you can do it by coming and volunteering at the event. Let's talk about the ranch itself and some ranch etiquette. First thing to know that this is a third or fourth generation family-owned property. It's very rare in San Luis Obispo to find a property like this that's owned and operated by a historic family. Miosi family's been there a long, long time. This is their home. This is not a public place, not a campground, it's not a park. It's their home. And so we need to treat it with respect. Obviously, no litter, no pooping out on the course. Just, this is their home. It's their yard. This is where they live. And we don't want to be taking a crap out on their trails. And we also don't want to do anything that's going to upset the cattle. There's going to be cattle there. They're going to be loose. They're going to be wandering around. You're going to be in a fenced-in ranch with cattle that are roaming wild and live. They will not bother you. Don't bother them. Just go around them. We host a lot of events on cattle ranches, and every time somebody sends me an email afterwards saying that they were upset, offended, and disappointed by the cow poop. Well, there's going to be cows, there's going to be poop. So that's how it's going to be. If you don't like cows and you don't like poop, go to the San Diego Rock and Roll Marathon or something. So this is absolutely a ranch experience. There's other wildlife there too. You probably see a coyote. You might see pigs. Nothing overly dangerous. Just keep your eyes open. Everything should be fine. One thing about being on a ranch is this is very important. You leave all gates as you find them. If you're running along and you find a gate and it's closed, but it's clearly marked, I'm supposed to go through this gate, then you open the gate and you close the gate. And you're going to say, well, I'm in a race, so I don't have time for that. Well, everybody's going to do the same thing. So don't jump over the gate. Don't climb on the gate. Open the gate, close the gate, and continue. If you arrive at a gate and it's open and you think, God, this gate should be closed, it must be open for a reason. Leave it open. So that whether you're on this ranch or any ranch anywhere in the world, this is really 101 etiquette. Leave all gates as you find them. And there's two gates that we're going to be dealing with on this property, and they should be open. But if they're not, just do what I said. If it's closed, you open it, you close it. Don't climb it. Again, this thing is a private ranch. It's not open to the public, but your friends and your family and your crew, they're welcome to come. That's not a problem. I think I confused some people when I said this earlier. What we mean is just non-registered people that are not anything affiliated to the race just showing up to hang out, which happens all the time. We can't have that. So yes, you're registered. Come, bring your wife, bring your kids, bring your husband, bring everybody with you. They just need to have a waiver. The speed limit is 5 miles an hour. That's slow. That's really slow. So please, when you get onto the property, know that there could be people running on the road, the driveway that you come in on. So just be courteous, nice and easy. 5 miles an hour is very, very slow. Obviously, don't litter, don't leave anything on the ground at all. If you see something on the ground, just pick it up, please. Bring it into the barn and just throw it away. Please do not poop. Do not leave toilet paper out there. There's going to be restrooms. No open fires at all. So don't plan to come and camp and have a little fire. A camp stove is okay, but not an open fire, not a barbecue, not anything with open flames. Any questions about that? Cool. Schedule and events, Friday, the 26th at 8 a.m. We're meeting at the gate and we're going to mark the course. We've got plenty of people to help us, but if you want to come and hike around and see the ranch, you're welcome to do it. We will meet at 8 and normally we're finished around 3 o'clock, but if you can come for any part of that, come prepared to hike and, bring some food, bring a snack and all that. And 8 o'clock, Friday. This year, we're partnered with our friends at REI San Luis Obispo. We'll be doing early optional runner check-in at the REI store in San Luis Obispo. You do not have to go there, but you can. If you want to pick up your shirt, your bib number, your goodie bag, we'll start at 3 p.m. on Friday. That's this Friday. REI is excited to have you there. We did this last year. We had a couple hundred people come through the store. They're offering in-store discounts. So if you need to buy something, this is the opportunity. If you're not a REI member, they're going to be giving free memberships. I'm not sure what that costs or what the value is, but they are giving you complimentary membership and in-store discounts for that day. Who does not like REI? Come on. Tyler Tomasillo will be doing tintype portraiture. Originally, we were going to have him at the REI store, but he's just going to set up at the ranch, I think. Tyler, are you on the call? No. So you'll see Tyler at the ranch, and he'll be doing his tintype portraits. Totally optional. You want to buy a portrait of yourself, handmade in front of you, 120-year-old technology. It's pretty cool to watch. So he'll be there. Dr. Sarah Groman is not going to be there after all. She's got some other stuff going on, so we're not going to see Sarah. At the REI store in San Luis Obispo, I believe that we're going to have some representatives from the San Luis Distance Club, SLDC. They might be there. I'll be there. And we'll do a question and answer session around 4 o'clock. Either way, I'll just be there. If you have any last minute questions for me, I'll be there. That's 3 o'clock at the REI store, 3 to 5. Actually, around 5 o'clock is when I will do an actual pre-race meeting. I can talk to you there about the current conditions of the course and if there's been any changes or alterations. Then we're going to hustle over to the ranch, and where Adam Lopez is going to be set up in the barn, and at 6 p.m. he's going to play, probably do a couple of hours of live music with Adam. Bring your lawn chair, dress warm, bring a couple of drinks, bring your ice chest, bring a snack, and be prepared to be amazed by Adam. Any questions about any of this so far?
I have a question
Yep.
on Friday, the REI thing that starts at 3. How long does that go?
Until about 5:30.
Okay.
And then we will not be doing runner check-in at the ranch on Friday night, but we will be doing runner check-in in the morning on Saturday. Was that what you were going to ask, Nick?
No, the waiver, I got issues with my printer. I'm going to try to work it out, but is it okay if I sign it on my phone? And
I have to have a paper waiver. This has to do with our insurance, right?
Yeah.
So we'll have some printed waivers there that you can,
All right.
so don't kill yourself, Nick. Don't.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, cool.
Yeah. If you can get it done, do it. If not, just show up.
Right on. Thanks, man.
Mhm.
Oops.
Any questions? All right. Race day, Saturday. The gate is going to open at 6 a.m. So some of us are already going to be in the ranch camping, but the gate will be closed and locked. Saturday morning at 6 a.m., the gate will be open and you're welcome to come then. Do not come prior to 5 a.m. on prior to 6 a.m. on Saturday expecting to come into the ranch. We can't make it happen. So 6 o'clock, you can line up out there, but at 6 o'clock, the gate will open. Be prepared with two things: $10 cash and a waiver. You can come in the gate. You're going to hand that to the volunteer that's there.
What time does the gate lock on Friday?
I don't know.
Okay.
Um,
in
are
we're
you going to come?
getting-
You're going to camp. You're going to be coming in late.
I don't think so. I plan on being there early, but just in case.
Just come.
I'm playing hooky from work, so if I could get out, I'll be there on time.
I like people that play hooky from work and then say it on a on a meeting that's going to be published.
There you go.
Oh, that was you, Brian, asking.
Yep.
Okay, got it. All right. Any other questions? All right. Even though the ranch gate opens at 6, runner check-in will open at 7. So we'll have an hour to get everybody checked in. Should be no problem. Come to the barn. It's going to be pretty obvious when you get there. There's going to be signs that are going to direct you to the parking lot. You're going to park. You're going to walk 1/8 of a mile maybe to the barn. It's obvious. You're going to go to the barn. Look for the runner check-in table. Check in. Be prepared with your waiver. That's super important. All races are going to start at 8 o'clock. And again, the cutoff for the first lap for the 50K runners is 1 o'clock. The final cutoff for all events is 5 p.m. All right. There will be food for purchase at between 7 and 2 p.m. I say hand food, burritos, burgers, that kind of thing. Super cheap, $10. I think will get you everything you need. I think burgers might be 15.
Is there any music or anything on Saturday? If we
Good
wanna hang out?
question. Yes,
when
of
we're-
course. Yeah. So Louisa Wood and her band will be there playing on the deck throughout the day. I think they're going to run in the morning, but they'll be playing probably around 10 o'clock. So yes, there's something going on there. So if you bring your friends and your family, you feel guilty about just dropping them off and leaving, there's going to be stuff. Also, Sally and Tracy Thomas are going to be there from Marvelous Mud. So they're going to have a display of their ceramic art. Of course, they're wanting to sell stuff too. All right. Again, Tyler's going to be doing his tintypes. There'll be live music. Out on the race course, Michelle and Bobby will be out there photographing all of you. They do a great job. There's a link to her website on the runner guide. You can see what they've done in the past. And so there'll be photographs available to you for purchase after the fact. It takes her normally around 10 days to get everything edited and put up. And then we'll send you a message when that's ready for you to view, and you can go there and check it out. We talked about camping. It opens at noon on Friday, the 26th. It's primitive, it's dispersed, it's dry camping. It's $20 per vehicle. Contact Beverly. Again, it's in the runner guide. You can find her email. Just click on there, let her know your name and when you're coming, and she'll arrange it. We talked about parking, $10 per vehicle. Waivers, we talked about that over and over. Let's talk about the course. And if you go to the runner guide, you can click on the course and you can see a CalTopo map is going to come up and you'll see the route. And know this, that this is all fluid, right? This is the route that we used last year. It's the route that we used the year before that, but these things can change. I'm not sure exactly what's going on the ranch right at the moment. There could be flooding. There could be a change in fencing. There's a lot of things. But right now, the course we expect to run is the course that we ran last year. The 10K course is, it's probably a little bit long, and it's marked with yellow. So if you're in the 10K at 8 a.m., ready, set, go, you follow yellow ribbons. Simple as that. You do one lap. If you're in the 25K, there's a 25K course and it's marked with pink. So if you're in the 25K at 8 o'clock, you start, you do this 10.5-mile course that's marked in pink. When you complete the pink loop, it'll take you right back to the barn. Then you start the yellow loop. You're going to do pink and then yellow. So a 10.5-mile loop and a 6-mile loop. That equals about 25 kilometers. Got it? One pink, one yellow. That's for the 25K. 10K, one yellow. 50K, you do that twice. Pink, yellow, pink, yellow. You check in at the timing table at the conclusion of every lap. So our timing is pretty primitive. It's by hand. We just have somebody sitting at a computer. You complete your first lap, you show them your bib number and say, hey, I'm Brooke and I'm number 15 and I just finished my 10K loop. Great. Make sure you see them mark it down in the computer. That's it. You're done. Same thing, 25K, you finish the first loop, show them your number, tell them your name, they put you in the computer. So it's your responsibility to check in at the table. We don't have chip timing, nothing like that. It's old fashioned. Okay, any questions about that? Let me talk about the course. It's beautiful. It's awesome because it's a private ranch. This is somewhere where you normally can't run. If you've run at Poly Canyon, if you've run Shooters, Roller Coaster, Morning Glory, any of those trails, you've seen this ranch, but you haven't been on this ranch. It's really, really nice. You're going to get up kind of high. You're going to get some really nice views of San Luis Obispo, the 7 peaks, all 7 of the volcano cores. You're going to be able to see from San Luis all the way down to Morro Rock. It's a spectacular race course. Let me say this to you again, remind you that it's private. You are welcome to be there Friday at noon and up until Saturday at 5 p.m. You're not welcome to be there on Sunday or Monday or any other time. Don't come back. Don't jump over fences. Don't trespass on this property. They live there. Gabriel Miosi is a super nice guy, but he does not tolerate trespassing. And so don't think that you had a great time at the race and everybody was cool and you met Gabriel and he was super nice. And a couple of weeks from now, you get your buddies together and you're on the mountain bike and you're up on West Cuesta. Hey, let's just drop into Gabe's property. Do not do that. It won't end. It won't end the way you think, or maybe it will. I don't know. There's going to be 8 stations about every 5 miles. It's pretty basic. It's going to be water. It's going to be ice. There'll be some sweets, some candy, some chips, some soda, and Hammer Nutrition products. We're not cooking. There's no hard food, nothing like that. So if there's something special that you require, you should bring it with you. I talked about timing. It's totally manual. And so it's your responsibility to check in at the timing booth at the conclusion of each lap. We're almost finished. There's a few rules, not many. No dogs on the course at all. Even a dog on a leash is not welcome on the course. You can bring your dogs to the ranch as long as they're livestock friendly, as long as they're on a leash, and as long as they're cool. If your dog causes any problems, snaps at somebody, fights with another dog, any of that kind of stuff, then we have no choice but to ask you and the dog to leave. So don't do that. Just make sure your dog's well behaved. My dogs will be there every single year. I bring my dogs. It's never been a problem. They're on their leash. Everything's cool. We are dog people. Gabriel, the owner of the ranch, dog person. We got no problem with dogs, but they can't be chasing cows and they can't be fighting or biting people. Makes sense, right? You will see dogs off leash. Those are Gabriel's dogs, the owner. Headphones and earbuds. Everything I'm telling you right now has to do with our insurance. And they tell me to tell you this. There are no headphones. There are no earbuds. Anything that prevents you from hearing is not allowed. I like to run also, and I'll run with my phone in my pocket, and I'll turn the volume down just so I can hear it, listen to a podcast or whatever, but I'm not bothering anybody around me. So these dudes that run with a big loud box, don't do that. And don't cover up your hearing. It's important. We don't want you to get hurt. I have these bone conducting earphones, not plugs, but they sit right here, and they work really, really well. I can listen to the radio, but I could also hear ambient sound. Just don't stick stuff into your ears. No pacers, and what that means is no trail companion. You can't have your buddy running with you. If you want your buddy to run with you, no problem. Have them sign up for the race, put on a bib number, and then they can run with you. But we can't have non-registered, non-insured people running with you. So no trail companions that are not registered. It's okay if you run together. You make a friend out there. Hey, Jerry, let's run together. Yeah, no problem. Runner to runner aid is okay with me too. Jerry's got some, he's got an apple and he's got a Cliff Bar, and he hands it to me. No problem. Pretty informal event. That's not the case with a lot of races. Most races, runner to runner aid is not okay, but it's fine here. Obviously, no litter. Trekking poles are fine with me. In fact, I might suggest that you bring trekking poles. The ridge section of the course is stout. It's very steep. It's very rocky. There's not much of a trail. It's just kind of route finding, and it's steep. And so having a set of sticks in your pack might not be a bad idea. Any other questions about rules? No dogs on the course, no headphones, no pacers, no littering, trekking poles are okay. That's basically all the rules. No pooping on the dirt. Awards, we have trucker hats that have been made for all of you. Everybody that finished will receive a trucker hat. Everyone's going to get a t-shirt, of course. We have special awards for the first overall male and female in each category. We don't have age group awards. We don't have an award ceremony. Just as the people are finishing, we're going to be handing you your finishers awards, and then we'll be handing the first overall folks. We'll probably recognize them, but they're going to get a trophy, and that's pretty much it. How muddy is it in comparison to what? Let's see. To last year. Well, Jonathan, I haven't been out there yet, so I don't know.
It's muddier.
It's muddier.
I mean, I
Okay.
haven't been on the ranch, but just being here and out and about, it's muddier.
Brooke lives in San Luis Obispo, not too far from the ranch, so she would know. My friend Stan is here, and he usually has a pretty good insight into the weather. Stan, you got anything to report?
Right now it looks like it's going to be beautiful. It should be in the mid 70s, but it's going to be wet. So one thing to add on the parking, be smart. There's going to be a lot of people, a lot of cars. We'll try to direct people and put them in the right spots, but just remember that when you're pulling in to maximize how many people we can get in, and be careful because it'll be muddy.
It's I'm up here. I've been up here for a week, so I haven't been down. How's the weather been?
It's been warm during the day. I mean, after the rain, I mean, we got close to 2.5 inches in on the coastal side there. So San Luis got pounded pretty good. But the days have been like in the 70s. I mean, it's been gorgeous. And the nights have been in the mid 50s. So, I mean, the weather should be perfect for the event. But yeah, there was a lot of water in a short amount of time.
And for anybody who was at Tierra Redondo, I'm maybe not quite as muddy, but I would say close.
Here's a bit of advice. A few years ago, it was muddy, really muddy. And I was running that year, and I decided to take my shoes off. I'm like, I'm going to run barefoot in the mud. That sounds fun. And I did. Man, that was a big mistake. What happened was my feet were covered with these little tiny microscopic stickers. There's stickers in the dirt, in the mud. And man, I couldn't walk for days. Don't do that. Even though it's soft and squishy and it seems fun, there's stuff in that mud that you do not want in your feet. All right.
As the weather dries, the Tierra Redondo, when I saw the videos, when the mud is wet, it falls off of you. the next couple of days it's gonna be warm. That stuff's gonna get sticky. So just be careful because it's gonna get really sticky.
We're gonna have high heels. That's all I got. Hopefully that answers most of your questions. I like doing these meetings and I like seeing people here. It makes me feel like it's important to you. It's very important to me, and the people around me. We want to put on an event that's fun and safe. And these meetings are one way to keep things safe, to have an open conversation. Any other questions for me?
Hey, Luis, you may have already answered this, but are there toilets or porta potties at the aid stations?
Good question. So there will not be a porta potty on the course, but there will be portable toilets at the barn, and there are fixed toilets at the barn as well. So there'll be adequate amount of toilets, but logistically, we can't get them up onto the ranch property. So the longest you're going to go without seeing a toilet is 10.5 miles. So, you know, if you got to pee. Don't poop. Another thing, just another personal tip, bring your own toilet paper, bring wipes, put it in your pack. Of course, we're going to provide toilet paper. Of course, there'll be toilet paper, but you never know. And these things, it always seems to run out or whatever. So I just bring my own stuff. In fact, anytime I go to a race, I bring my own pretty much everything, including water, even though I know, my job as a race coordinator is to provide you paid for aid. We're going to put aid there, but you never know. So I would bring a gallon of water and just have it in my car and fill my own bottles before I walk down to the starting line. That makes the most sense. Then you're sure it's there and you don't have to mess around. For the 10K, the aid station will be around 5 miles, correct? No, it's going to be sooner than that. I don't want to tell you an exact distance, but less than 3 miles, you should hit the first aid station. That's Lady Bird. Any other questions? Nick? Thank you for hosting. All right. All right,
Just wave
everybody.
me,
I
Lady
think
Bird.
that's it. I'll hang out if anybody has any questions. Otherwise, I'll look forward to seeing you maybe Friday at 8 a.m. To help us mark, or Friday at 6 p.m. to meet with Adam Lopez, or for sure Saturday at 7. All the races start at 8. All right. Stan, I will see you tomorrow. I'll be in touch. All right, everybody. I'm checking out. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Luis.